Shame doesn't feel very good. It drains your energy, makes you sad, and forces you to feel the after effects of bad decisions, sometimes extending the duration of their relevance far into the future. Shame is also associated with interests. People feel shame for liking certain things or engaging in certain activities because of what other people might or do think about them. Recently, there's been a big cultural push to basically eradicate shame from the lexicon of society. It's now considered bad to shame people for things some people think shouldn't be shameful. We've got phrases like kink shaming and fat shaming and slut shaming used to fight back against people who judge those sorts of things, a way to shame the shamers who would shame the shamed. But what I think some are missing is that shame can be a constructive force, which is how it started in the first place. We use shame to discourage legitimately bad behavior. We shame people for, I don't know, murdering? Or raping, or leaving the oven on for a minute, like truly reprehensible actions. We say things like, have you no shame? Because when people have no shame, it's usually destructive. So shame is a vital component of the human condition. If you don't have shame in any situation ever, you are a psychopath. And since we all agree on this, we should all be more cognizant of shame's utility in less dire situations too. Plus, where do you draw the line? Is everything permitted? You're not supposed to judge people's sexual activities or how they take care of their bodies. What about drug users? What about alcoholics? Or people whose daily habits lead them down a road of unhealthy risk, just supposed to carry on with no feedback from those around them? Is it really better to let people tailspin into the side of a cliff rather than risk offending them with a potential rescue? Dude, what's more important to you, your life or your feelings? Feelings loses every time for me. I don't know about you. And before you accuse me of false equivalence here, let's analyze what I'm comparing. You ask me, Albino, how do sexual freedom and body positivity possibly compare to drug and alcohol habits? I'll tell you. People who champion and practice rampant unbridled sexual freedom, aka the recipients of so-called kink shaming and slut shaming. Let's take them one at a time. This argument works better with slut shaming, so I'm going to do that one first. Slut shaming. The act of shaming people, typically girls, but dudes on occasion, for having an astronomically high number of sexual partners in a relatively short time span. Now ask yourself what's dangerous about that. And if the answer isn't obvious, please never have sexual contact with anyone again. Aside from the myriad hundreds of potential diseases and infections you may be eligible to receive if you act now, and since this attitude is geared towards women, the number of times you are effectively putting your life in a stranger's hands while your body is at its most vulnerable with every one-night stand you get up to, one might be justified in worrying about your continued safety if you were to continue down this path of what the kids call freedom. And look, none of this is to say that you shouldn't be allowed to do any of that. Of course you should. It's your choice. Just like you should be allowed to become an alcoholic and drink yourself into a stupor every night if you so choose. Doesn't mean it's healthy, doesn't mean you're making good decisions, and doesn't mean other people don't have a right to judge you, or even worse, try to reach out and help you. These are both high-risk behaviors, period. It's less high risk if dudes do it, though not on the disease side, but only because guys typically can't be physically overpowered by a crazy chick with a knife or some shit, although I am a weakling, so I definitely could. All my muscles are in my brain and my fingertips, and that can be powerful for other reasons. Kink shaming is less about the dangers of kinks, although if you're into like being asphyxiated or something legitimately dangerous, then everything above does in fact apply. But I'm just not on board with the idea that we have to accept everybody no matter how fucking weird they are. Freaks are freaks. If you're into the weirdest shit I ever saw, I'm not just gonna roll with it because the insane part of society demands it. I'm gonna be like, oh my Jesus Christ, what pit of hell did you get a taste for that in? BDSM? Freak. Rim jobs? Freak. Role-playing rape fantasies? JK, never done that one. Like I said, I'm a weakling. I don't think it would be hot for the girl if she keeps escaping by accident. She's in the doorway like, are you even trying? I'm like, yeah, I think you just need to be tied up. Can you do it? I don't know how knots work. I'm real bad at this. But I'll judge you for your shit, and you can judge me for mine. That's how the world works. And if people shaming you for your kink truly makes you feel like some kind of monster, it's probably a bad kink. Straight up, it probably is gross or not okay, and you have to accept that the majority of people feel that way about what you're into. then you still decide whether you indulge it or not, so nobody is taking away your choice. The moral of every story in this video is that nobody is taking away your choice to be either disgusting or a freak or a danger to yourself and others, but as long as your actions affect others, others will judge you. And even when your actions affect yourself, others who care about you, who are affected by seeing what you do to yourself, will also judge you. Hashtag deal with it. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you can like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at Sunburned Albino, and I'll see you guys next time.